Yo, what's up, boys? Soran Trades here, and this is the trade recap of the trade that I took yesterday. I wasn't at home, so I didn't post the trade recap. But yeah, I'm posting the one of yesterday today, and then I'm gonna post today's one as a separate video. But so getting into it, we had London highs here, and then we had Asia highs intact, and we had previous day's PM highs intact as well. So those were three strong draws on liquidity that market could open into. And then I'm pretty sure we also had another either high or fair value gap here. No, nothing. Okay. Anyways, alright, yeah. That was all that we had for that day. And then yeah, we had those highs to trade into. And then after trading into those highs, obviously I was looking for an inversion. And I'm looking for the highest time frame inversion in the leg that swept the liquidity. So I'm looking for a 5 or a 3 minute fair value gap. And here I had my 5 minute fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap that I wanted to obviously see a bearish inversion or bearish close through. And then after sweeping London highs just before market open, Asia highs and previous day PM highs, I was looking for shorts there were perfect equal lows over here. Wait, let me just see what that, where were those perfect equal lows? I think they were here. Yeah, they must have been somewhere down here. There was perfect, yeah, here they were, right there. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so I had these perfect equal lows here as a draw on liquidity, along with this 4 hour fair value gap here, which if the chart decides to load, as we can see, that was then obviously the draw on liquidity for the New York session, and after that the 11 a.m. open reversed higher. But yeah, that was our draw on liquidity for that day. Then that was actually the point that we ended up reversing from. And then this was my 5 minute fair value gap that I wanted to see an inversion through, and my PD arrays that I traded were PM highs, London highs, Asia highs, and this relative high here being swept. And then after those highs got swept, I pretty much waited for a 1 minute inversion of the 5 minute fair value gap. So this was the 5 minute fair value gap, and then I waited for price to close through the gap on the 1 minute chart. Let me just remove my drawings here. I waited for price to, pretty sure the gap is here. So I waited for price to close through the 5 minute fair value gap on the 1 minute chart, entered there, put my stop loss at this protected high up here because this was the point of reversal. And if that puts us in a market maker sell model, that shouldn't get revisited. And then we had that 4 hour fair value gap and these perfect equal lows here as a draw on liquidity to target. And yeah, that's how it played out. I made 2% on my valuation account, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this day. Clear shorts, again shorts, because all of this liquidity here that was generated this day, as you can see, got swept over here. So we ran that liquidity, and then there were orders up here that got triggered for us to push down, and then after running the liquidity on the downside as well, then we were able to push higher. And then seeing as we did have the next draw on liquidity for us to go towards, I'm just going to go into the 4 hour quickly. Here, the next draw on liquidity that we had before, so obviously it was before these two candles here. So our next draw on liquidity would have been all-time highs, which is what it was. And at all-time highs, we're only going to really want to trade a continuation model. We're not going to want to, even though the way we trade takes, if we sweep highs, we're going to look for sells. If we sweep all-time highs, because people generally look to buy at all-time highs, it moves the market differently to normal highs, and therefore we're only going to look to take a continuation trade on all-time highs, which is what I ended up doing today. And yeah, that's the trade recap for yesterday, Thursday, the 2nd of October. And I'm gonna post the trade recap for Friday today. Those were the only 2 trades that I took last week, hence why I didn't post a video. And yeah, much love to everybody who's coming through and watching these videos. I hope you guys are learning something. And yeah, check your boys.